That Western supremacist attitude has been literally so difficult to get rid of, despite all that's happened in the recent decades. The kind of growth that India has shown, the kind of heft that India has in the world stage today, they just don't seem to get it anymore.
There are a couple of things, but the first point I'd like to state is that I think that the Western academia, and especially the Western media, is trapped in its own cultural past. The cultural past is that they are liberal democracies. But in countries all over the world, we have seen a phenomenon called resurgence of cultural nationalism, people taking pride in their roots. Bharatiya Janata Party is a party which has been duly elected now twice. It has its very clearly stated position of cultural nationalism. Now, you have people who have views on constitutional or civic nationalism. Cultural nationalism was taken to the people. People of India duly voted Bharatiya Janata Party and said, yes, we like the idea of cultural nationalism. One. Secondly, the idea of cultural nationalism was not imposed, Krishna. The issue of cultural nationalism has been part of Indian decision making or part of Constituent Assembly debates from 1947 onwards till 1952. Second thing. Third thing, the idea of cultural nationalism was not forced upon people. It gained legitimacy, it gained ground, Bharatiya Janata Party won and came to power. So that is one. So to say that the duly elected government in India is trying to mimic a sort of a racist government is a blatant lie. This article is poorly researched. It has not put facts in place. Secondly, it has used wrong words for people. For example, to say that Amritpal is a Sikh leader is a wrong word. He is an imposter. He is a person who has been trained by ISI in Georgia. He has been trained in Dubai. Look at his photographs as to what he was doing. One. Secondly, there was no lockdown of the Punjab state. It was a manhunt. In India, school children are not getting killed because, like America, because they have no consensus on the gun issue. When they talk about peaceful transfer of power, barring emergency, India is a shining example of post-colonial nations. Look at Pakistan, it's a failed state. Nepal, it's a flawed democracy. They can't complete a tenure. Look at Bangladesh, it had dictatorship. Look at Sri Lanka, it had civil war. Look at Vietnam, it had war. Look at Cambodian democracy. Look at state of Myanmar. Look at state of Thailand, which is reeling under a monarchy, which is a huge chunk of money which is ripped away from the GDP, and people can't say the king is in Germany and West at least for quarter of a year. India is a shining example of peaceful transfer of power, which this article is trying to contest as if the institutions are being somehow eroded and corroded. And lastly, what did the world see in January 2021 when the supporters of Trump attacked the vice president then, Pence? So I think the article loses context, and my biggest argument here is that the United States of America, its press, they weaponize words like human rights and democracy to pursue the American strategic interests. Right. They invaded Algeria, right. They invaded Syria, they broke countries like Libya in the name of what? Human rights and democracy. Those are non-functional and destroyed states.